Yeah, so I think at the end of last season, after those races, I identified that the bike was the biggest area for improvement. Going into the winter, we had to tick all 4 boxes. I guess those are tactical, in a tactical sense, technical, overall like bike conditioning, so strength, etc., and then developing that top end power stuff. So I think, you know, having all 4 of them being solid is going to help you in a race because you're ticking all boxes essentially. Once we kind of worked out where the biggest areas for improvement were within those 4, it made it much easier to kind of focus in a 12-14 week block period of where we could kind of get that in the week. Sat down with the coaches, Alistair's obviously helped as well. Committed to 14 weeks, 12-14 weeks, taking my Saturday run session out and replacing it with, it's called the Buckton Run, so basically a kind of big group ride, kind of ticks the box with technical, because you're riding in a group at pace, and also strength because it's incorporated in a 4-hour ride, and then I guess tactical as well because you're kind of getting attacks off the front and you're trying to find the right wheel to stay on, etc. And then I guess yeah, power as well with, you know, spike. So what sort of sessions I've been key this year are VO2 sessions, so really top end stuff, so anywhere between like 20 seconds and 3-minute reps sort of things. Been really focusing on that. Lots of group riding, so not only at steady pace, but also at pace. Longer mileage. I think I've done the most miles I've ever done on the bike in this block, and doing that a couple of times a week. And then yeah, just trying to get as much kind of group riding as possible, and following the wheel and making sure, like, even on bad days, that I feel comfortable, or making it as easy as possible on the wheel. Don't really like doing a lot of riding on the turbo, mainly because I find it really like hard, to be honest. Fair to get out. Yeah, turbo riding definitely has a place. You know, when the weather, you can't always guarantee the weather's going to be nice. And I've definitely been on the turbo a couple of times this winter already. It's good with, you know, you can jump in on, like you can create sessions and stuff on the turbo as well. In the winter, you obviously have lacking of hours in the sunlight, so if you've got a particularly big day, it's easy to jump on the turbo. I just find it really hard to hit the powers. I've done quite a few VO2 sessions on there and it's been hard, but I guess it is more controlled, and yeah, it definitely has a place, but I do prefer getting outside and yeah, just getting stuck in. Leeds is pretty lumpy in terms of, like, it's undulating, and I like hills and I think they get you strong, so I don't shy away from that, but it's sometimes nice to do a bit more of a flatter route. We've just come back from Spain where every ride was hilly, so it would have been nice to have some more flat riding there, but it was a beautiful place to ride, so I'm not too bothered. So obviously you can't just do your usual programme and then put in more riding as well, so something had to give, and with running being a strong point of mine, felt like I could take that risk and, you know, sacrifice that Saturday run session. So how did we get around that? Took the intensity out on the Saturday and replaced it with kind of intense bike. Yeah, initially I was actually too tired to run off that on, like, at the start of this block, so I would now built up to being able to do an hour off that, and I've actually, last week was the first time that we put some tempo in the middle of that hour as well, so I've been able to withstand that. Swimming has actually been okay. Swimming hasn't really been affected. I don't know whether swim and bike go hand in hand, I don't know. I think having the run would have definitely caused tired legs somewhere. But to get round the kind of less volume of the run on the Saturday, we've kind of bulked out Tuesday a little bit. So Tuesday is not as quick pace on the track, just a bit more volume, some mixture, some tempo with some track reps. So I'm still getting some quality in, but not as much. Yeah, so this winter, obviously, I have been using power for a little bit. When I'm looking at doing these VO2 sessions, it's been really interesting because I've been repeating sessions, so to come back every week and I'm getting live data on the Garmin anyway, but then to come back and actually, like, David loves it, so he likes to analyse it afterwards, and just like looking at, seeing how it's improved over the weeks. So, you know, before, when I was doing the same session and I was only hitting, I don't know, 300 watt, 14 weeks down the line I can now hold 30 watts more than that. So it has been interesting and quite a nice progression. I'm sure if you plotted it, it would be a nice curve going up the way. So that's been really useful, having, you know, having the power meter on the bike and and just being able to like look at that. So I use the Rally power pedals, and obviously it's all linked, so I get that, I get live data on my Garmin and I can see what I'm doing at that moment in time in the session. So that's useful, really useful, and it just helps to make it a bit more like individualised, I guess. Obviously did some bike testing at the start of the winter block, so I had up-to-date data to kind of work with this winter. Yeah, so I actually been riding the Ostro mainly. Really enjoy riding that bike. It's a really nice bike to ride, and I rode that most of the winter. And then when I was in Spain, I took the One out. Not really a climbing bike, but it was good. Yeah, and I really like that bike, so I'm going to race on that at the start of the season. And then I'm actually getting a couple more Ostros sent because I just really like them. But I'll get one with just a 1x and then the other one with 2x, so that if there is a hillier race, I can, I've got more options in terms of gearing. So yeah, definitely prefer the Ostro. Actually, in this bike block, we've kind of extended it. Let's call it 16 weeks. I'm off to Catira, which is in southern Portugal, at the end of the month. And it's an Olympic distance triathlon, so 1500 swim, 40k bike and 10k run. So I think it'll be really interesting just to see bike block has paid off. I'm sure it will have. But yeah, I'd be interested to see how I can bike off a swim, and also just to see where my running's at, having not done much hard stuff. The thing that's been quite encouraging is that I've still managed to maintain my run speed off not doing like key run sessions. So, I've seen like glimpses of that in training, and also a lot of my training partners are racing really well at the moment, and that's also been really encouraging. So yeah, I'm hoping just be an overall stronger athlete after this bike focus this winter.